Hello everybody, this is Character Let's Play Dead Rising 2, and I actually got one of those hidden survivors that I was looking for on screen and didn't realize it. That guy who I was talking to with the briefcase outside the Atlantica was one of the guys that it was telling me about, and apparently I have seen one of the other guys, so it might not be too late to get that poker game. Because if you notice, I decided to look through here because I had nothing else to do. This guy right here, he's one of the guys, and I don't think I saw him in the previous one, so I've seen him in this playthrough. Otherwise he wouldn't be yellow and say locate. So it actually might not be too late. Cough, cough, cough. Yeah, my breathing spots is like, nope, fuck you. And I'm like, don't be like that breathing spot. I need that throat. Yeah, we're gonna run the getaway. And if it works, wonderful. And if it doesn't, yeah, shit happens. Fucking looters. Just kill some looters. Step on your nuts a couple times. The reason he hit me is I was seeing if I could do the arm pull on him and I can't, which is sad. Yes, I'm upset that I can't dismember actual human beings. Hey, if I'm ripping the arms off of zombies and killing psychopaths, surely I can rip the arms off a couple looters. Might get them to give me a discount at the pawn shop. You know, seeing as how I'm a murderous psychopath and all. Really? The hotel's that close to the Royal Flush? Okay. Don't think I ever realized that. I'm still kind of iffy on exactly how things are set up on the map, so... Alrighty then, let's get the hotel thing going on. Let's beat TK and get on with our day. Not that I think I'll need all this time or anything. I'm a man fighting zombies in his underwear. I have nothing to lose. Now I have room for this mark assault rifle. Ooh. And now I have room for this Mark Assault Rifle. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's Bowie knife. What? Well, we'll get to them later.
Not without me, Chuck.
Yeah, if you say so. Kinda wish I still had my armor for this, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes all the armor needs to do is protect me long enough to get to the boss fight. And it
Get behind me.
I want his glasses. Oh. Yeah. I done got runned over by a helicopter. Fuck yourself, sir. Whee! Yeah, I kind of deserved that one. Work. Fuck your rotors, son. I do not need you alive. Spent an awful lot of time naked. And now I'm free to run around and do shit. So let's do that.
You're an okay guy.
You need a lot of coffee creamer. Anyway. Check out these hidden survivors real quick. And go on a little trip here. Because I have a thing that needs to be done. And I think now's the time I can do it. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure this isn't the time I can do it, but I don't care. I'm going to try it anyway. So we're going to try it nonetheless. Shortcut! Shortcut! And if not, I can always put on the cop suit again, because I'll be in the Palisades. And it puts me near where I think I want to be anyway. Chris's fine foods. That Chris sure does have some fine food. It's just the finest of orange juice. Heals a whole lot. It's good for curing puppet burn. That's what happens when, Puppet sets fire to you with a flamethrower. Happens more often than you think.
Ah, crap.
Yeah, I figured as much. Take, drink. Take, drink. And one more for the road.
Nice.
Just because. Back? Ah, these guys again. Then there's this asshole. That was actually real funny if you actually get the reference, I promise. And you know what? For those who do not get the reference, I'm now going to explain it, which is the classic thing you don't do, is explain the joke. Fuck it. I've got to fill my commentary. Alright. Those who saw this before will remember that World's Most Dangerous Trick involves two magicians. The phrase, "and then there's this asshole," is from Penn and Teller's show Bullshit, where the two magicians would basically go over things that are, in fact, bullshit, And it was a very biased show, but as he put it, we try to be fair. We're biased as all fuck, but we try to be fair. And whenever they'd introduce someone who's counter to the thing, they do so as, "and then there's this asshole." Or, "and then there's this asshole." Because sometimes, you gotta vary the emphasis. Alright, I'm gonna look for wherever this poker game could possibly be. It could be in there. Hoping it's not. You know what? It could also be in this side room over here. Which I think I should... Ooh. Pyrex loves money. You heard it here first, folks. If you give me money, I will like that. I might not like you, but I will in fact like the money. Somewhere this might be where the poker game is. I hope it's still going on. Yay, poker? No, I think this is just a maintenance thing. To one of the downstairs. No. Actually, fuck it. Who doesn't want to play poker in a vault? It's the best place to play poker. Nope, no poker game in here. That makes me sad. My niece just came back and the dog's all over her. I can hear her through the room. Alright, let's just hope that I have enough. Yeah, they're not red. I should have enough. I'm about to say enough firepower, so to speak, to drop these guys. Alright, we're going to kill Will Ferrell first, and then we're going to kill his mopey friend. Well, I really think was supposed to be Teller. Now I need a couple minutes of private time with my damn beer hat. Thank you very much. Got PP for that shit. Alright, you wanna fucking play with firearms? I think I need to come back with better weapons. Leave me alone, you fucktard. Said, leave me alone, you fucktard. I'm going to eat this lobster. Fortunately for me, he's stuck with the most inaccurate weapon in the game. Gone, Will Ferrell. About a flash, no substance. It's actually working a little bit. Alright, friend. Mr. Friend. Where's my buddy with the sword? There he is. Shit. Not the weapon I thought it was. Friend. There you are. There you go. Cares for you or your little disappearing act, friend. Hey, it's good for a bunch of fucking hillbillies. Let's clear the air a little bit here. Damn queen bits. Now let's go find Mr. Friend. Rolling help. You dropped your gun. Last time, I now have all the time in the world for this fight. I'll not rush. There's the timer ticking down. Because this time I'm being responsible in my murder. That's right, kids. Responsible murder. It's a thing. For children, always kill responsibly. Please don't kill anybody. Because I know I'll get in trouble if you do. Well, he said he'd never kill anyone, but then the Kyrex guy told him it's okay as long as you do it responsibly. So he wore rubber gloves when he stabbed Mrs. Smith to death 1,000 times. He made sure he wore a condom when he raped her dog, too. Of course, then I'd have to deal with fucking Nancy Grace. God, I hate that woman. I wish there was a Nancy Grace type person in this game because you could kill her. Not advocate the murder of Nancy Grace. I won't be sad if it happens, but I'm not gonna tell people to go out and stab Nancy Grace. For those who don't know who Nancy Grace is, she's a parasite who makes her living off of child murder. Though not in the way you think, or at least not in any way I can prove. Basically, whenever anyone has, oh, there's a dead child. Oh, that was a beautiful shot. Hard. Whenever there's a child killed, she gets on and she, without any evidence, just decides, okay, this person's guilty, period. Now, the person may be guilty, they may not, but she doesn't even wait for the trial. It's like, oh, this person absolutely did it because I'm Nancy Grace and I fucking said so. And fuck her for being like that. That's not how the fucking legal system works, okay? And the worst thing is, she used to be like a prosecutor or something, so of all people, she should know innocent until proven guilty is supposed to be a thing. No, fuck that. She wants to be emotionally manipulative. She has actually been the result of a couple people's death. There was, I don't remember who it was, or what the situation was exactly, but there was a person who she had been either prosecuting or had been on her show or something. And she had basically gone on and on, oh, this person's guilty, this person's guilty, this person's fucking guilty, And turned out the person was, in fact, not guilty. They were innocent. And, well, unfortunately, Nancy Grace, being the fucking parasite she is, ruined that person's life so that no one would ever believe that they were not guilty. So they couldn't have any kind of a normal life, because every time they go to the store, it's like, oh, you're a fucking murderer, blah, 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 And they killed themselves. And when asked, do you feel responsible for this, her response was, no, of course I don't. What it was, I had nothing to do with this. It must have been their deep-seated guilt for getting away from their crime. That's why they killed themselves, but they couldn't bear to live with the knowledge that they killed a person. And I'm thinking, fucking whore. How can you not take responsibility for something you obviously caused? If it were to come out tomorrow that Nancy Grace hired people to kill or kidnap children so that she could get ratings, I would absolutely not be surprised at it. Kind of morally bankrupt person who would do that. So again, would I advocate her getting killed? No. Probably celebrate it though. I'd be very happy. Of course, there are people out there who would say something along the lines of, well, what does that make you? That makes you horrible if you'd be happy that someone died? And my response is, I'm okay with that. I consider a stain on my conscience to be a small price to pay to know that person's not out making the world actively worse. Am I a perfect person? No. But I'm not actively out there making the world a worse place. I'm not out there actively ruining lives just to make myself better. And I'd like to think that even if I had the position to do so, I wouldn't be doing that. Now, it were different if she were actually bringing guilty people to justice, but she's basically the Jerry Springer of tabloids. And I say that with apologies to Jerry Springer for associating him with her. She is a truly, truly horrible person. I mean, I say without any semblance of exaggeration, she's probably one of the worst human beings to never actually commit murder. But again, this is someone who indirectly caused, well, not as, I know I say indirectly, but she was a direct cause of it. She just didn't actively do it. But she was indirectly the cause of another human being's death and feels no remorse for it. And keep in mind, this wasn't someone who personally wronged her or anything. This was someone she suspected of a crime and didn't bother to do her research on. Because if she had, she'd have realized, oh, well, I guess this person really wasn't guilty because the court said they weren't guilty. You know? And that's the thing. Pundits and talk show hosts don't decide whether a person is guilty. The court does. And maybe there's things wrong with the court. That's what appeals are for. You know? But you don't get to decide that. And if you're wrong and refuse to have the integrity to come on TV and say, you know what, I was wrong, I retract this, then I'm sorry, but fuck you. You know? Just came from there. But yeah, it's just a morally bankrupt person. Although that's not even a proper thing, because that implies that at some point she had morals and lost them. I gotta wonder if she ever did. She's a horrible person. And I'm glad that my mom finally stopped watching her. I don't know what made her stop, but hell, for all I know, the only reason she stopped is because Nancy Grace isn't on TV, which I hope is a thing. That woman doesn't deserve to have a fucking career. I mean, say what you will about Jerry Springer or even Steve Wilkos, who's another person I absolutely can't stand. But at least the people who are on their show agree to be on their show. You know, they're ruining lives of people who agree to be on their show. Now, Steve Wilkos, to me, is just a step below Nancy Grace, or a step above her as far as that. He's better than her, but not by much. Because Steve brings on people and has them do lie detector stuff that could potentially ruin their lives. And guess what? Lie detectors are not as accurate as people think they are. You can trick lie detectors. And I don't mean trick lie detectors like, yeah, I did it and got away with it. No. You can trick a lie detector into telling you you're lying when you're not, just by being nervous. And the people who administer polygraphs are really good at making you nervous. So they'll trip you with false positives, and you'll get fucking condemned for shit for the rest of your life on something that doesn't work. And he chooses... Now, I'm not saying that everyone he's ever done this to was innocent. Matter of fact, a lot of them probably weren't. That's not the point. The point is that this is not his fucking job. Your job is not to fucking or save people's lives, etc. You're a fucking scumbag for doing that. Or if you're going to do that, do it for real. You know, that we have courts for this shit. Take them on Judge Judy, for fuck's sake, or something like that. Make an actual show like that with an actual judge, etc. Don't be some fucking ex-security guard, ex-cop who thinks he's a badass. Because I've seen him try to intimidate some people too. Like they stick up for themselves like, oh, I'll fuck you up. You know, from Steve. And you know what? Fuck you, Steve. You're an asshole. One of my fondest wishes, and I admit this might make me sound like a horrible person, but I hope that someday Steve Wilkos is going one way and Nancy Grace is going on the other, and their two cars collide and kill both of them. The world will be a better place without them. I truly believe that. That being said, again, I'm not advocating anyone do anything except not watch their shows. That's the worst thing you can legally do to them, is just, oh, Steve Wilkos is on. Click. What else is on? Oh, look, a home shopping network. A special on toilet paper for 3 hours. This is better than Steve Wilkos. Because nobody's getting hurt here. Nobody's having their lives ruined. Now, that being said, there is a huge difference, and this is where they differ, between Steve Wilkos and Nancy Grace. And that's the fact that I think Steve is being truly sincere. I really think he thinks he's making these people's lives better, that he's helping them. And I truly think he's trying to. And if he were doing this with technology that couldn't give false positives the way it did, I would applaud him instead of hate him. But the shit he's using isn't even admissible in court, and there are reasons for that. And he is ruining people's lives over something that might not be accurate. And that's his problem. Again, the other thing that I think makes him better than Nancy Grace is the fact that the people on his show at least agree to be on his show. He doesn't have subpoena power to make you come on his show.
Wicked.
Whereas Nancy Grace fucks with people who are in court and have no ability to defend themselves. Because she's not going to have those people on her show. And if she did, she'd scream over them anyway. You know? So, just... yeah. I just can't stand that woman. And again, my issues... for all my issues with Steve Wilkos, I at least think he's trying to be good, which in a way can make it a little bit worse, the fact that he's trying to help people and he's doing so much harm. Now that being said, he's helping, well no, he's not even helping, he's helping kind of a lot of people to his thing. It's because a lot of times like, oh, did you fuck your kid? Did you fuck your kid? And what's he doing? Except because the kid knows, you know. Maybe he's telling the parents, and I've seen a couple cases where the parents didn't even believe it. But it's mostly stuff like that, or did you beat this child? Did you do that? I mean, and a lot of times it's with people who aren't even together anymore, so it's being just pointless. There's nothing really accomplished. Well, not a lot of times. I don't watch a lot of Steve Wilkos, but that seems to be 90% of his fucking programming. And this is shit that could have just as easily been done in court with legitimate findings, etc. And without the spectacle of it all, but then he wouldn't get ratings. But if you ask me, if he helps 20 people and falsely ruins one, that's too high a fucking price. Because if you get accused of that shit and proven by a lie detector, and you didn't do it, you will never have anything resembling the normal. What's that? I heard you took a baseball bat to this kid's knees. No, actually, that was someone else. That was one of his friends at school, etc. Well, Steve Wilkos said, well, Steve Wilkos can eat a fucking dick. And choke on it and die and fall on Nancy Grace.
I want to find some money.
God, I hate that woman. Yeah, this is just me being hateful as shit today. I apologize. Pretty easygoing guy, but when you set me off, I just don't turn back off. It's one of many reasons I would not make the best Jedi, because when I hate someone, I enjoy it. I just get, yeah, I revel in it. I feed off it. That being said, I do at least try to make sure if I hate someone, it's for the proper reasons, because they actually did something. And another thing on that, at least that makes Steve Wilkos better than Nancy Grace, is the fact that at least he tries to get proof. In that he takes a lie detector test before he accuses anybody of a goddamn thing. Now, I will say that lie detectors, when you don't get a false positives, it's very hard to prove them. Or not prove them, it's very hard to trick them.
Mom used to make.
But again, a false positive can be worse. You know what, fuck it, we're doing these missions now. I'm coming back with everybody. But I'm doing it next episode. Bye-bye.